Hi, I want to talk to you about my childcare story. So, I needed to get care for my child when he was an infant and when he was 2, and then all the way through his growing up. He's now 18 years old. So, when he was a baby, I was finishing school and I needed childcare. So, I called the on campus childcare center and I was told I needed to be on the wait list, which was 2 years long. I hadn't met my partner inside of those 2 years. So there's like no way I would have ever known. Our child came as a surprise, and so we didn't plan for that surprise, right? So I stayed at home, and while I was absolutely grateful to be able to see him walking in his first steps, and I was so glad to be his primary caregiver. Caregiving, is nonstop and it doesn't end at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock. And it was really hard for me to find a job because I was looking when the economy had crashed. And so there was just a lot of competition, and it was just difficult to find a job that would pay enough and then be able to pay for childcare. And then eventually the stars aligned and I did get a job and I did find a space for him. And what I found was that the amount that I earned in that job basically went straight to pay for his care. But the people who provided care for him weren't making any more money than I was, and I wasn't making very much money. So it was just a complete pass through. I was able to, I said before, like I was paying for the privilege of being able to talk to adults during the day. Was really horrified to learn that basically the providers I was working with, if I had lived alone, I would be in poverty wages. And that meant that the providers that provided stellar care for my son were experiencing poverty wages. And we absolutely couldn't afford to pay any more money. We as a family couldn't afford to pay any more money. And that was 16 years ago. And things haven't changed. Things have only just gotten much more expensive. So the thing that I've really come to realize is that parents and providers really are on the same team. We really are fighting for the same thing. Community care for our children are cared for, the same extension of love that we provide as parents to our children. And those providers deserve to be paid for the dignity, for the experience that they have developed over their years of providing care, for the safety and comfort and education that they provide. It is skilled labor and it is not nearly recognized enough in our world. So every year, I pledge even more to stand with childcare providers and fight for childcare. Even though I no longer need early childhood education, it is the foundational space where our children get those first interactions with learning to share and learning to care, and it sets them forward for all the other years. Every child deserves great access, and I'm going to stand with childcare providers and stand with families this year for Monday, May 12th, a day without childcare, and I want you to stand with me. The pledge is in my bio. Click the link and sign on.